today's final touch. We love these. And another amazing drone show in China.
They are celebrating the 28th China Golden Rooster and 100 Flowers Film Festival. The highlight of the ceremony, 1,200 drones lit up the night sky, forming various images from egrets to dolphins to a golden image, which is the symbol of the festival. The drones transform their shining formation smoothly, sparking cheers from the crowd of spectators. The China Golden Rooster and 100 Flowers Film Festival started in 1992 and is the largest film festival on the Chinese mainland. How they control? I assume that's all computer controlled to keep all those things in order, but it's amazing to look at.
It is amazing to look at, yeah.
To think those are actually just drones.
Yeah. They don't look like it.
There's
it's
the
incredible.
Golden Rooster. All right, that's our time for now. We thank you for watching. We'll hope to see you back here again tomorrow. Be careful on the morning commute. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, a new state grant aims to help Lafayette County give a new option to repeat OWI offenders.
How students on the UW-Madison campus are raising heart health awareness.
Plus, it's Hamilton Week in Madison, what you should know about tickets ahead of opening night.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with News 3 Now. Attorney General Josh Kaul is divvying up $1.5 million in grants for drug courts.
That money was included in the 2019 to 21 state budget. Such courts provide alternatives to prosecution and incarceration for offenders who abuse alcohol and other drugs. The money will help create the courts and also expand treatment and diversion programs in Adams, Buffalo, Marinette, Monroe, Pepin, Portage, and Polk counties. One of those state grants is also headed to Lafayette County.
Rose Schmidt explains how it will give repeat OWI offenders a new treatment option. Rose?
Yeah, the Lafayette County Sheriff says the problem is putting OWI offenders in jail over and over has not really made a difference in helping them overcome their alcohol addictions. The state is awarding Lafayette County more than $118,000 so it can create an OWI court, a treatment option that county leaders say has proved effective in nearby counties. It will give people convicted of drunken driving a chance to get into counseling and learn to live a sober life.
It's easy for them to be alcohol-free while they're locked up in jail, but the minute they get back out, they tend to go back to their same lifestyle. So we're hoping that maybe this will help make a shift in the way that they look at their alcohol problem and hopefully support that over a period of time to help make that change.
This treatment program likely would not be targeted at first or second time offenders and would take about 10 people at a time. There will be 5 phases of the program, which would take about 18 months to complete. The grant money will go toward breathalyzer and drug testing, as well as a new staff member, and the goal is to get this court up and running by July of next year.
Thanks, Rose.
Well, the woman accused of killing her boyfriend in Necedah has been charged. 27-year-old Crystal Ferris is charged with 7 counts, including first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse. Now, police say Ferris's boyfriend, 26-year-old Jason Daly, was found dead last week of blunt force trauma. A criminal complaint says a deputy went to Daly's home. Ferris answered the door. She said she didn't know where he was and she didn't want to report him missing. The deputy returned to the home 24 minutes later and found Ferris unresponsive and on top of a 2-month-old baby, a bag of pills next to Ferris. She and the baby were taken to an area hospital. The deputy was checking the home for information related to Daly's disappearance when he found his body.
Beloit police have released the name of the victim who was killed in a Beloit shooting. Police say 34-year-old DeJuan Buchanan was shot on Saturday morning. He was pronounced dead at an area hospital. Officers say they are searching for a silver SUV and a blue Volkswagen sedan, both of which may have broken windows. Both cars are believed to be connected to the homicide.
The man who fired shots at Visions nightclub last year has now been sentenced. Cole Foster will serve 10 months in jail with Huber work release, 4 years probation. If he violates probation terms, he will then serve 4 years in prison. 4 people had gunshot wounds and were taken to the hospital the night of the shooting. A 5th person suffered a knife injury.
Some freezing rain tonight could impact the morning commute tomorrow. Let's get a first check on the weather now with Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Susan. It's going to be very temperature dependent to see exactly where temperatures are. A degree up or down could make the difference between freezing rain and just a cold rain. But future track ice shows that there's the potential at least for some minor icing, especially over southwestern Wisconsin, and some light snow accumulations of around 1/4 to 1/2 inch from Madison northward. Right now, temperatures are in the lower 30s, and these temperatures aren't going to change very much overnight. In fact, over the next 12 hours, you can see them just barely dropping below freezing by early tomorrow morning. We could have the possibility for some light snow, some light freezing rain, or even light rain in areas where temperatures are above freezing. Once that ends, our high temperature should hit 39 and the road conditions should improve. Later on, I'll talk about a forecast that actually has some 40s in the forecast before we turn colder at the end of the week.
Okay, Gary, thank you. And stay up to date with the weather on Channel 3000's weather app. Our meteorologists will provide hourly forecasts, a 10-day forecast, as well as your traffic and road conditions to get you to your destination safely. You can download it for free in your app store.
Well, when you think about someone who could suffer from cardiac arrest, you might imagine someone older, but a group of UW students wants to change that thinking.
Cardiac on Campus is working to show college-age students that heart health is important for them as well. Our Amanda Quintana joins us with how the group is giving students the tools to save lives. Amanda?
Today, the student organization placed an automatic external defibrillator, or an AED, in the lobby of Whitty Hall. The easy-to-use device delivers a shock to get the heart back to an effective rhythm. Bought with money raised by the students, it now gives the more than 1,200 students who live there a chance of survival if they go into cardiac arrest.
He was 20, he was healthy, you know, like that's not supposed to happen. And he literally collapsed at the finish line of the race.
John Dorinda was just 20 years old when he died of sudden cardiac arrest while running a half marathon in Milwaukee.
And it had a massive impact on our family. And it's a catastrophic event in the life of any family that loses a son at that kind of age, because it's not something that you see coming.
His cousin, Jessica Miller, and his sister, both UW students at the time, created the group Cardiac on Campus in his honor to let other young people know this could happen to anyone.
The focus on leaning towards it as an adult issue is kind of taking away from the fact that this can also very, very catastrophically affect young people.
4 years later, Miller, now a UW graduate, is back on campus to see the organization she built continue her work, placing an AED, the only thing that can help during cardiac arrest, in the Whitty Residence Hall.
You don't really think, oh, where's the next AED that I can find every time you walk into a place, but when you need it, it will make a difference whether it's there or not.
The group has CPR certified more than 600 people, and this is the third AED they've raised the $1,200 for, but it's only the sixth in UW housing. With 21 residence halls, most of them don't have one.
Other Big Ten schools do have policies that ensure that there's an AED available in every residence hall, but unfortunately we do not.
That momentum, inspired by John, still pushing these students to make sure if one of them needs it, the tool to save their life is there. Each minute defibrillation is delayed, the odds of survival are reduced by 10%. And that's why the organization is working to get AEDs in every residence hall. They're hoping to donate more in the coming months.
Amanda, thank you. Dane County is proposing a new one-stop resource center to get mental health patients the help they need. With funding in his 2020 budget, County Executive Joe Parisi is calling for the new Dane County Universal Access Resource Center to bridge private and public mental health care providers, a call center that will create a roadmap to improve access and also get better outcomes for those who need help.
Improving access for people in need has been talked about, studied, and explored. It's time to put our knowledge gained into concrete efforts and actions needed to turn our vision into a reality.
The county will partner with UW Health, Dean Health Plan, NAMI Dane County, and others. The call center will initially operate from noon to 4, 7 days a week, with openings slated for early summer 2020.
Tomorrow is opening night for the Broadway hit musical Hamilton at the Overture Center.
Gabriella Becerra joins us from Overture with some tips the ticket holders should know before showtime. Gabby?
Hamilton Week is just getting started, and the Overture Center for the Arts has a few tips they want you to know before you go. First, check your tickets. Make sure you are showing up on the correct day and time, which leads to the second tip. Arrive early, because security measures will be in place. And when you arrive early, stop by the displays and galleries, including one that will feature Hamilton-themed artifacts.
check your tickets and check them twice. You want to make sure that you're coming on the day you have a ticket for. We just want people to double and triple check their tickets.
Doors open 90 minutes before showtime, and theater doors open 30 minutes before showtime. If anyone has any questions about tickets, they can visit or call the Overture Center box office. And it's important to remember to show up early because there will be tighter security measures in place. Hamilton will be in Madison from November 19th to December 8th.
All right, Susan's going. I didn't get tickets, but
you didn't this
enjoy
time?
the show. They're tough to get those tickets.
Yeah, they are. They
Gabby,
really
thank you. Madison College culinary students are learning how to prepare a Thanksgiving dinner while helping others. Students and instructors are cooking 40 turkeys in their Truax campus kitchens. The students will then carve those birds. They'll be given to the River Food Pantry's Thanksgiving meal.
You know, when the students go home for Thanksgiving, especially first-year students, we want to make sure that they actually know how to take apart turkeys. So this is a perfect time for them to pick up that skill before they go home and are frightened of Thanksgiving.
Well, this is the 13th year Madison College has donated its ovens and workers to help out with the holiday event, which serves nearly 1,000 people each year.
Lower temperatures often mean higher heating bills, but there are a few small changes you can make to keep costs low. Madison Gas and Electric recommends setting your heat to 68 degrees when you're home and 55 when you're away or asleep. That might sound a little chilly, but it will bring you big savings. When you lower the thermostat by 1 degree, you save 1%. If you do decide to lower the temperature in your home, avoid offsetting it. They say avoid offsetting it with a space heater. Experts at MG&E say it's more wasteful than you realize, and there are better options.
If you're cold and you have your thermostat set down, put on an electric blanket, because then you're heating your person instead of a whole room. An electric blanket will use a fraction of the energy.
The average heating bill in our area was about $450 last year. Madison Gas and Electric offers energy assistance and budget plans. We have the details on our website, channel3000.com. The Henry Vila Zoo announced that it will be adding 5 new flamingos and a bison to the zoo this winter. They're asking for donations to bring the animals to Madison. They would pay for animal welfare and transportation costs. If you'd like to donate, go to channel3000.com.
And more news to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, 3 people are dead after a shooting at a Walmart in Oklahoma. We will have the very latest.
And then coming up tonight at 6, a local monument and grave marking business is cleaning up for the 2nd time this year after a driver crashes into their building. That story coming up at 6.
And the markets to open the week, marginal gains as the Dow adds 31 1/3. The NASDAQ jumps 9, while the S&P was up 1.5. We'll be right back. 3 people have been fatally shot at a Walmart in Oklahoma.
Police in southwestern Oklahoma say 2 men and a woman were fatally shot this morning outside of a Walmart store, and the shooter is among the dead. Duncan Police Chief Danny Ford says that 2 victims were shot inside a car. The third was in the parking lot outside of the store. Authorities have not identified those killed.
Well, obviously, with the history in the last several years, it has a lot of impact. It makes people very fearful. It makes people wonder what's going on. It's a change in the community. We've gone a while, as you well know, without any real major incident like this. So puts everybody on edge, puts the schools on edge, hospitals, businesses, everyone's on edge.
Many schools in the area were on lockdown while police investigated the shooting.
And police in Fresno, California are searching for at least 2 gunmen after 4 people were shot in an ambush-style shooting at a house party last night. 4 Asian men between the ages of 23 and 40 died. 6 more men suffered gunshot wounds. The chief says 30 people were attending that party. Women and children were inside the home when the gunman attacked. Investigators say some of the victims were involved in a disturbance earlier in the week. They're now looking into whether the 2 incidents are connected.
There is no indication that this residence or anyone at the residence were affiliated with a gang.
Well, the police department is forming an Asian gang violence task force as part of the investigation, though, and they are reviewing security camera footage from the neighborhood. Federal agents are also assisting in the investigation.
The House kicks off its second week of public impeachment hearings with all eyes on a key witness with new information about his interactions with Ukraine. CBS News confirms reports that Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, sent emails to several administration officials to keep them posted on his efforts to get Ukraine to agree to President Trump's demands for investigations into the Bidens and Democrats. Last week, State Department official David Holmes told House committees he overheard the president ask Sondland about the investigations during a phone call.
We're going to have a host of witnesses. We'll see how his testimony plays out.
The president could come right before the committee and speak all the truth that he wants if he wants to.
You don't expect him to
if he
do
wants
that.
to take the oath of office, or he could do it in writing.
President Trump tweeted in response, "Even though I did nothing wrong and don't like giving credibility to this no due process hoax, I like the idea and will, in order to get Congress focused again, strongly consider it." CBS News will bring you complete coverage of the public testimony in the impeachment inquiry. Nora O'Donnell will anchor our special reports from Washington tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
A standoff between anti-government protesters and police in Hong Kong continues to escalate. As many as 500 protesters are believed to have barricaded themselves inside of one of Hong Kong's universities. They've been playing a cat-and-mouse game with police now for days. The standoff has been going on for over 24 hours. More than 40 people have been arrested. This university, along with colleges across the territory, are closed tomorrow and possibly for the rest of the week.
Let's get a look at the weather now. Gary is here in the studio. Temperatures are going to be critical tomorrow morning, right, Gary?
They are. In fact, they're just barely above freezing right now, but they're not expected to change very much overnight. So when this precipitation out to the west of us, which is still a ways off, it's Minnesota and Iowa, reaches us, and right now is in the form of rain, temperatures will be right around the freezing mark, and that could lead to some light snow, some light freezing rain, or light rain, depending on what the temperatures turn out to be. So we have an alert day in the forecast, mainly for tomorrow morning, for that mixture of light precipitation. It should be over about maybe a 4 to 5 hour time period and should end by early to mid-morning. Once that happens, the temperature should warm above freezing, and that will clear up any slippery road conditions. But the timing of this is right in time for the morning commute. That's why we have the alert day in the forecast. And you can see on future track, beginning early tomorrow morning, that light precipitation approaching the Mississippi River. Again, that time in the form of rain because temperatures are above freezing there. But take a look at the temperatures around the central part of our viewing area, upper 20s to lower 30s. So when that precipitation reaches us by about 7 a.m., Madison's right at 32 degrees, the Dells at 28. So there's precipitation likely in the form of snow here, maybe a mixture of rain, snow, or some freezing rain where temperatures are at or slightly below freezing. And then where temperatures are above freezing, that's where it most likely will be in the form of rain. And you can see by noon, most of the precipitation is over with. So it'll just be a quick hitting thing, not a lot of precipitation, but the models are indicating the potential for at least a couple 1/100ths of an inch of ice accumulation and maybe a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of snow with temperatures right around freezing. Again, it's mainly untreated roads that will be most susceptible to being icy. But once we get that precipitation out of here, temperatures will be back in the upper 30s for tomorrow and in the low 40s for Wednesday and Thursday. There's the average high temperature. If we get at or above normal temperatures, I've said this a couple of times, it'll be the first time since October 27th we've had temperatures at or above normal. And you can see another little warming trend over the end of the weekend. But as we head toward Thanksgiving, notice those temperatures dropping off. There could be a storm system there that could bring a mixture of precipitation changing to snow by Thanksgiving. The live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, pretty quiet. It's been cloudy all day. Temperature hasn't moved very much. High 35, the low 33, and that's where we are right now. 33-degree temperature, mostly cloudy skies. Winds out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour give us a wind chill of 29 degrees. So our forecast for tonight calls for mostly cloudy skies. That mixture of light snow, light freezing rain, or light rain will occur by early tomorrow morning with a low temperature of 31. Then tomorrow our high temperature gets up to 39 so that any mixed precipitation will end early or change over to rain before ending, and again should melt with those temperatures getting above freezing. So again, that mixed precipitation early tomorrow morning, that moves on out. Then we just see cloudy skies for the rest of the day. Tomorrow night, the cloudy skies actually keep our temperatures at or above freezing for much of the area, so we continue to melt some of the snow that's on the ground. And on Wednesday, with temperatures, with wind shifting to the southeast, we might see temperatures in the lower 40s. Models even hinting at maybe some sunshine at least over southwestern Wisconsin. And again, overnight, that potential for some light mixed precipitation in the form of some light freezing rain or some light snow. After that, the temperatures will get above freezing and everything will melt. As we look at the 7 to 10-day forecast, look for those temperatures to go up to the mid-40s on Thursday. Now that will be early in the day with falling temperatures. A little drop in temperatures for Friday, pretty quiet for the weekend. And then that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thanksgiving Day time period bears some watching because a storm system there will probably start out as a mixture of rain and snow depending on temperatures Tuesday and Wednesday, changing to snow late Wednesday into Wednesday night and ending as snow on Thanksgiving. And of course, that's a busy travel period, so we're going to keep a very close eye on the situation there for the next few days. As we take a look at first alert traffic tonight, there's the view from the Merrimack Ferry, and it is closed for the season, so don't have to worry about taking that. Otherwise, the Beltline right now, we're seeing some delays eastbound beginning around Monona Drive, going back to almost Seminole Highway. Westbound delays start around Fish Hatchery Road and go back to John Nolan Drive. As far as travel times are concerned right now, it's about 22 to 24 minutes in both directions from University Avenue to the interstate on the Beltline. If you're heading out of Madison, 26 minutes to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline southward, 17 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 18 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert Traffic.
Thank you, Gary.
Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, the awards keep piling up for Badger running back Jonathan Taylor. We'll tell you what honor he received this week. That's next. Another week, another honor for Badger running back Jonathan Taylor. He is the Big Ten Co-Offensive Player of the Week, 204 rushing yards, a couple of touchdowns, and the 37-21 win at Nebraska. During that game, Taylor also broke Herschel Walker's record for most rushing yards by a player through his third season. Aaron Cruikshank, also the Big Ten's Co-Special Teams Player of the Week. He had a 89-yard kickoff return right there for a touchdown against the Cornhuskers. The Badgers will take on Purdue on Saturday, 3 p.m., senior day at Camp Randall, and then the following week, it's off to the Twin Cities for the Gophers in the battle for Paul Bunyan's act and potentially for the Big Ten West title. The following Saturday and kickoff has now been set for that game. That'll be at 2:30 p.m.
Wisconsin volleyball player Molly Haggerty has been named the Big Ten Player of the Week. The senior outside hitter had 24 kills in the Badgers' victory against Minnesota. Setter Sydney Hilly has been named the Big Ten Setter of the Week. Hilly had a career-best 78 assists against the Gophers. The 5th-ranked Badgers take on Iowa at home Friday night for senior night.
Forward, Madison FC announced the latest item of merchandise being sold on its website. It is a team-branded potato. The Flamingos say they have sold merchandise in every state except Idaho. Quote, "We got our 49th state last weekend, so we had to do something to fill that last empty spot on the map." Merchandise manager Chase Egan said she says she thinks Idahoans, is that what they are? Idahoans won't be able to resist our team-branded potatoes. The potatoes, which are the state vegetable, of course, of Idaho, they're available on the team's website for $1.50. You think people in Idaho want a $1.50 potato from Wisconsin?
Why not?
Shipped back to Idaho? Stay with us. We'll have another Check Your Forecast in just a moment.
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, crucial testimony ahead as the president hints he may be willing to testify. What to expect from this week's impeachment hearings. A groundbreaking medical study. Could it change the way doctors treat heart disease? And the emotional farewell to Bei. Does it mean bye-bye for pandas in the U.S.? We've got those stories and much more tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And Gary's here now. It could get a little slippery in the morning.
Quiet right now. Skies are cloudy, but temperatures just barely above freezing right now. And you can see the rain out to the west of us. By the time it reaches us by early tomorrow morning, there could be some light freezing rain or some light snow in there. Temperatures, like you see right now, just barely above freezing here in Madison. There's the future track ice forecast of a few 1/100ths of an inch of ice over southwestern Wisconsin, some light snow from Madison northward. But after that, temperatures will warm up into the upper 30s for tomorrow, should melt everything and improve the roads. And then a couple of days in the 40s before we drop back into the 30s. A few more days of the 40s, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thanksgiving. We'll have to watch out for a storm system in that time period.
All right, we're back in 30 minutes with more updates on News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.